All right, we're here in the Niner locker room with Tyler Kroft, Niner tight end, and how's it going so far? This team's rolling, playing really good football.
Yeah, it's been fun this year. I know the year might not have started necessarily I wanted to, but we knew we'd hit our stride as the season progressed, and we pride ourselves on getting better each week, so it's been cool to see as the team's evolved as the season's gone.
Tell us a little bit about tight end room. Obviously, George is one of the best in the league, and you guys got a good room, it seems like, with a lot of guys who complement each other well.
Yeah, like you said, we have George that leads the room, plays at a high level, so I know the rest of us just kind of embrace the role that's been given to us, and we compete each week. Like you said, we have a deep room with Charlie, myself, Lely, so we're all just going in each week and trying to get better and stack days.
This is the #1 defense in the league. What's it like to practice against these guys every day?
Yeah, they play at a high level. I think it screams off tape at how fast and physical they play. So in camp and stuff, obviously offense, we get frustrated some days because we see just how fast, how physical they play day in and day out, but I think iron sharpens iron, so they've helped us progress and evolve as the season's going.
How would you compare the speed of our linebackers here in San Francisco to what you see around the league this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think Fred does a hell of a job leading them, and then like Dre Greenlaw and Z's, they're all physical and fast out there, so it's hard to, I don't want to play like a comparison game with other teams and stuff, but you can just tell that they play this game at the high level, and you'd love to see them flying around like that.
Brock and you connected on a pretty nice little pass play a couple games ago up the seam. Do you remember the play? Tell us about it if you could.
Yeah, we've been the whole game we were running a lot of outside zone, trying to get the guys to honestly get the corner safeties to play up and suck up on the run game. So I think it was in the fourth quarter. We had probably run that play 6 or 7 times at that point, and then so we knew that they were coming up and trying to fill the run to stop it. So it was a great call by Kyle in the moment, and I'm just happy they called my number in that situation.
Kyle is obviously one of the best offensive coordinators. It just seems like this team has so much confidence in his ability to call a game, and a lot of times guys talk about the run-pass fusion on the play-action game. Do you notice that teams really bite on the fakes because it's so well schemed up?
Yeah, I definitely think he does obviously a hell of a job scheming everything, but I think what sets Kyle apart is he does a great job of explaining to the entire group of like why we're attacking teams a certain way, so everybody's kind of on the same page. It's like you might not want to run that outside zone play your 8th time of the game or whatever. Like as a player, you're just like, all right, we feel like we might be beating our head in the wall, but everything fits together, and you trust that what he's doing, what he's calling, is going to put us in the best chance for success. And I just, like I said before, I think he does an unbelievable job of explaining the offense to the entire group so everybody's on the same page. What
would you say is the strength of your game compared to when you came out of college? Like, where's your game really progressed since you've been a pro?
So I've been pro. I've always prided myself on being a 3-down tight end. I don't mind getting dirty in the run game, like embracing that challenge, because a lot of times the D end and outside backers have 20, 30 pounds on us, and you got to have, there's a 1-2 when it comes to the run game. So I've always taken pride in that, but I think I've cleaned up footwork and technique as I've gotten older in the league, and just understanding and diagnosing coverages and defenses, understanding what puts defenses in a pinch, and attacking that and exploiting that, so understanding that.
A couple last ones. Brock obviously is playing really, really well. You've seen a number of different quarterbacks, both going back to college and in the league.
Yeah.
How would you describe what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I think it's obviously awesome. Being a young player and having him step into this role and on this biggest stage that he's been on, you don't get a bigger stage than the NFL when it comes to this football game. So it's been cool seeing him embrace that week in and week out, and then like everybody else in the room getting better. It's cool.
You know, we have Talanoa Hufanga wants to ask you a question. Go ahead, Talanoa. You got a good question for him?
What you got?
Any thoughts on your locker partner?
Yeah, Huff's just he's not really a great dude. I don't know. It's just kind of, you got to watch your stuff when you're around him. So
all right.
He's going straight theft on you, right? The playoffs. What have you ever played in a playoff game before? And what's the tempo? What's the speed of the game? What's the difference between regular season playoffs?
Yeah, everything. It's win or go home. So obviously there's a heightened sense of everybody knows, like, you don't know if it's going to be your last day or not. So you know everybody's going to bring their A game. But also we got to remind the young guys and remind everybody that might be their first time. It is still the same game we're playing. So don't make the moment bigger than it is, because it's still a 60-minute game. You know what I mean? So everything's going to be it's still the game we've been playing all year. But like I said, you don't know if it's your last one, so it could be just win or go home. So everybody's going to be on their top level.
What does Arizona look like to you on film? Who stands out? I mean, I always felt like some of my favorite memories of Niners Cardinals are George going against Budda Baker. What does Budda Baker like to go up against, and what do you think of them? What are they looking like?
Yeah, Buddha's obviously he's a hell of a player. I know he's a little banged up. I don't think he's rolling this week for them. I think he's got a shoulder issue, but he flies around, and he's one of those guys. As soon as you turn the tape on, you notice him right away. So you know he plays at a high level. But it's going to be JJ's last game, and we know that. So we know he's going to be rocked up and ready to go, and so we're going to try and do our best to keep him off the stat sheet as good as we can. But it's JJ Watt, his defensive player of the year. He's had a hell of a career so far, so it'll be fun going against him his last game.
What would it mean to win the Super Bowl for you? I mean, and for this group, I mean, you guys don't talk about it with us, but you probably talk about it with each other. What would that mean to this group to get that done this year? Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's the ultimate goal. That would be surreal. I've never made it that far to play in a Super Bowl game, let alone win one. So that would be incredible. But we still have a long way to go before that's going to happen. So we're going to take it week in and week out, and just embrace each week as it comes.
Last one for you. Obviously, the league reeling this week about Hamlin. I think everybody's so thrilled that looks like he's turned a corner.
Yeah.
But what is that? When you saw that Monday night, what did that do to you? What kind of emotions did you take from that? And does it change anything about the way you feel about the game?
Yeah, I mean, say it changes how I feel about the game. I just think it kind of was a shock to everybody. Like, we know the reality of playing this game. It is grown men, a very physical game, and we throw our bodies out there, and it is tough to see that because it brings everything to the forefront. My wife and I actually went out to dinner on a dinner date where we went to a restaurant that had a TV because I played for the Bills, played for the Bengals, and I know a lot of the guys on that field. So I was just like, this would be cool to go watch. Let's go watch it. And within 10 minutes of us sitting down, the play happened and all this stuff, and my wife and I were just sitting there, just like, oh shoot, like this isn't normal. This is different. So as far as like changing how I view the game, I wouldn't say it does, but there was that kind of shock moment because I do have 2 kids at home now. I'm 30 years old, so there is a little bit of that life aspect of like, oh shoot, like what if that is me on the field type of thing. So, but just seeing that, like you said, I'm glad he's turned the corner. Obviously, everybody's been holding their breath, waiting to see how all that played out, and it seemed like the medical team up in Buffalo and the Cincinnati, they did a great job.
Yeah. Hey, man, thanks for the time. You've been a great addition. Keep it rolling, and man, hopefully you guys get that ring. It'll be great to see.
Oh, yeah, it'll be awesome.